off and the clock has started.
Penis!
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Hey guys, welcome to the 8th episode of Brutal Brunch with some amazing people. I've got Nathaniel here. Say hi.
Hello. Or hi, I guess is technically. Hi, I'm Nathaniel Diamond.
You sound like a really, really bad Steve Irwin. Start over.
Groggy.
Good day. How do I sound like a bad Steve Irwin? What about me sounding like Steve Irwin? Because now I'm just curious. I'm
No.
past the point of offense now. What about me sounding like a bad Steve Irwin?
Oh, it's a bad crock. Gonna get it. All right, Mark.
Hi.
You always do this. Tell the people what you are, man.
I am a human being.
No way, me too.
I'm a male.
About your art, prick.
Oh, I'm an artist as well. That's what I do in my free time when I'm not doing this in my free time.
What kind of art do you do, homie? And where can they find your art?
God, I gotta plug myself. Okay, fine. This look on your face.
Dude, there's like 11 countries that listen to our shit, and you're like, oh no, I get a fucking plug.
Okay, at markjones.art. That's me. I do everything from digital to painting to sculpting to other thing.
When you start like I do everything from, but then you name three things, that kind of ruins
Well, that
saying
kind
everything
of
from.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
now you just triangulated what you do. You could be like, I do everything from
I
digital
do
to...
anything art related. It falls into my hands. I love
wow.
experimenting with all kinds of mediums.
What about larges?
Yes, that's me.
But that's for
I'm the
later.
large.
All right, we got a very awesome podcast today because we're gonna talk about old movies.
I love old movies.
They're the oldest.
Not the oldest.
That's
All
true.
right. Okay, can I be honest with you guys? Like,
No.
No. What I really want to talk about right now is nostalgia.
Ah, yes.
Nostalgia.
Yeah, right. Like honestly, like nothing can be wrong with nostalgia.
Do you know what nostalgia translates to? I forget. It's something in like Greek.
Yeah. So like, what it translates to is fantasy from the before.
Is that actually what it is?
I think so.
I think it's something similar enough to that. I'm not
Yeah, I'm
gonna
not kidding. I
argue.
think it's like that close. Like I'm pretty sure. But what actually happens is with us is like
Wait, it was like familiar pain.
Yeah,
It's something more pain than that.
Yeah, the reason I'm saying
I
is
have that every
because like
day.
all you think about is the good that happened during that time and not the bad.
When you look through everything with rose-tinted glasses, all
Yeah,
the
it's-
red flags just look like flags.
That's a BoJack reference.
Yes, it is.
All right. Well, anywho, good talk.
He's the horseman.
So where do we just want to start with like what we know of like movie history? Because the only thing I know is like that old train movie, and
Well,
then like
No, what
the
I'm trying to
Adventure
say is
the Moon.
I want to impact our nostalgia into that fucking same perspective. Is like we like all the movies like they're the fucking best.
And
But
then you
they
go back and
probably
watch them, and they
weren't.
were horrible.
They probably weren't that great.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't watch a lot of movies, but the ones that I consistently go back to haven't gotten worse. If anything, they've gotten just
Well, how about
better.
Balto? Dude, Balto and my mind was like the most epic dog movie ever. And like I watched it again like
Don't even know
4
what
years
movie
ago.
you're talking about.
Movie sucked dick.
What's it?
Balto was a prick.
I've never heard of this movie.
Balto. I've heard of it, but I can't remember.
The only dog movies that I remember were Homeward Bound and Milo Notice.
When did you start wearing all black?
The day I was born.
No, because you were drinking out of a champagne fountain at 3,
With
and
a
you're not wearing
lampshade.
all. No, you're not wearing all black.
I
at
Oh
all.
haven't
yeah, that was
thought
an
of
all-white suit, wasn't it?
Yeah,
It was the
exactly.
opposite.
I'm not wrong.
I was a little
When
ray
did you
of
start
sunshine.
actually wearing all black for realties?
Middle school, probably.
I haven't thought
Somewhere
about
in that
Homeward
era.
Bound in a very long time. Those movies were surprisingly
Alright.
good.
Okay.
I don't remember the others, just the first
There were
one. I think there were three.
three.
But
the
it's-
second one was the first one I saw.
But it's not as bad as like Land Before Time, when they had like
What?
35 movies.
Oh, right.
And 90% of them were straight to VHS. Like I think only the first 9 were in theaters.
only the first
Only.
9.
No, the first 6 were because they wouldn't fucking push through the last 9. But all of the Christian kids had 9 through 36, and they're fucking.
Was Land Before Time a Christianly popular series?
Oddly enough,
adopted? Yeah.
That is
Oddly
kinda-
enough, being dinosaurs.
right? Because the fundamentalists don't believe in them, right?
Mm-mm.
Which is dude, honestly, the funniest shit is like you see the La Brea tar pit, like the tar pit, right? And it's constantly splitting up new bones all the time
Yeah.
because they're fossilized, like they're fossilized the tar, and like the tar just rolls
Right,
off.
and it just keeps popping up like
Yeah, they keep
bad
popping
acid
up.
reflux.
And then Christians are like, well, the world was created in 7 days.
Did you guys hear about that fossil in the North Shore of England that was just found?
Which
that
one?
was a
Was it your mama
a
that I
part
just
of
put
bigger
to bed?
bigger than your mom actually. It was
Ooh.
what they estimate to be a 9-foot long millipede.
Oh yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
like
I
the
did
size
hear
of a
about that.
car.
That's
kinda
also
terrifying.
like
I already
the,
knew those. I already knew those like species. Those
That's
are
like-
huge millipedes.
Well, that's also like the one and only
Fossible?
possible.
Possible.
Possible impossible.
Possible.
New word.
I just peeked.
New word right here. Anyway, the one and only fossil specimen that was found of, I cannot remember the scientific term. It's like an
No one cares about science. This is the
Archeo-
internet.
Tuplex something.
I care
or
about
other.
science.
Anyway, so it's like for anyone out there that's a nerd that's played Ark, it's what a microraptor is on Ark. The little bird dinosaur that sits on your shoulder and
There's a bird dinosaur that sits
Yeah.
on your shoulder.
yeah, it's
That's
kinda
cool.
cute. Anyway, so it's the only fossil specimen of this ever found with like even the feather detail in the stone itself. But then the guy that owned it in his private collection wouldn't let anyone study it. And then when he died, the fossil disappeared. So they think he was buried
Oh.
with it.
All right, question for both of you guys.
Yes.
Right now, this is a straight historic question. All right.
As opposed to a gay
Now,
historic
you're gonna
question.
Use your left hand, Mark. Use your left hand for this question. You use your right hand. Okay.
Oh no.
All right. Put your hand off the side of the couch. Put your hand on the side of the couch. Other side of the couch. Wholly other side of the
There's a
couch.
pillow here. And pictures of
No-
you in
Yeah,
your
no
youth.
shit. I look great in those pictures because I was fucking on steroids. I'm gonna be honest. But anyway,
It's like the
So-
Front Bottom song.
so there's gonna be 1 and 2. Okay, so you guys put up 1 and 2.
Oh,
on
okay.
Fingers.
Okay.
Okay.
I see where this is going.
Okay.
Okay, now I'm getting excited.
Okay.
What
Can
were
I
we
have
what
mine
were we
here?
talking about?
You said
Dinosaurs.
historic something or other. Dinosaurs.
Oh, not after all this excitement. You can't lose your train of thought.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay.
Yeah. He's trying to do a bit
All right.
and then
All
can't even
right.
keep track.
So, number one. The question is.
Yeah.
Number one. This is a two-parter. Number
Hey.
one. Do you? This would be a finger. One finger. Do you think the dinosaurs had scales? Number two. Do you think they had feathers?
What? Wait. So I hold up one finger if I think they had,
Scales.
and
Number
then I
two.
hold the other finger if I
and
think
they
they
had
had feathers.
Okay.
Okay.
And then we're gonna reconvene when you feel like you guys have made your proper decision.
I have made
Wait,
my
we have to
choice.
choose one or the other?
Yeah, because honestly, there's only one or the other, and I know.
But
this
there's
answer.
not.
Okay.
Yes, there is.
Okay, so I think we actually both wound up agreeing on this because
There's-
I'm holding out both of my
No,
fingers.
I'll ex-
I was holding up all three.
I'll
Three.
explain. I'll, ex-
One and two.
I'll explain my reason. I will.
Oh, he said two fingers, like one.
No.
I
and
will
two.
explain. If you want to let me go, I will explain my reason. Like,
No.
Okay.
Carry on.
Mark, you just ruined the whole game.
All right, that's what I do best. By the way, for all of our listeners out there, I just lost the game.
I think they lost the game
All right, what'd you choose to begin with, though?
Okay, legitimately, I chose both.
because they probably had both. Because look at what we have. We have birds and also we have alligators that are older than dinosaurs, and they have scales.
Okay,
And we also
And
have birds.
fossil records
Yes.
show like
Both.
like the Theriosaurus both had scales and feathers.
Isn't that the instrument where you like put your hands up and down?
No, that's a therium or something like that.
And what'd you just say?
Thesiosaurus.
They said
Theriosaurus.
Theriosaurus versus
Well, the whole-
Therios.
whole
So it's
point-
basically, it looked like a giant fucking chicken. It was like 10 feet tall with
Right.
giant like Wolverine claws.
All right.
It
The
had
whole-
both
the whole,
feathers
The whole
and
point
scales.
was just to ask questions.
And then we try to answer, and you didn't like our answer.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't matter. Like we all learned. Jokes on
What were
you
the
guys.
dinosaurs like in Land Before Time? To bring it back to a conversation, I don't even remember.
They didn't even seem scaly. They just seemed smooth. Yeah, they weren't
Smooth as,
scaly. They weren't feathery. They were just
I have
sure.
like bank account credit.
I have mediocre credit.
I have actually pretty good credit score.
Because
I
I'm
worked-
rebuilding mine.
I worked in credit repair for like 6 months, so I know too much about credit scores.
Well, we're gonna give the listeners a little bit of a background image of what's going on right now.
Oh.
So I just finished a bag of chips.
Yes, they're pretty good chips.
All
with,
that
with salsa.
and a bag of potato chips.
They were corn
I've
chips.
had 7 drinks tonight. Not
All
because
of
I
them
wa-
were water.
not because I wanted to. Because I needed to. I have been stressed out for like 7 days in a row.
At least
I'm
on the
working-
7th day, God even
I'm working.
rested.
I'm working 4 jobs. I wanna-
We should start calling you Steve,
well, at
because
least
then you'd be Steve Jobs.
what is that one guy like Wilson? I want to be like Wilson across the fence of like that
What
Home
movie?
Improvement. Home Improvement.
Oh,
I
I was
never-
thinking about the volleyball.
no,
from
Wilson.
Castaway.
Wilson from Home Improvement. So it was like,
I never watched Home Improvement.
hey Tim, it's like you better like love your wife better because you're treating her like shit. Ha ha.
That was back when TV was wholesome.
Quote unquote.
Right, it was just a lot more thinly veiled domestic abuse.
Pretty
It's
much.
very true.
Pretty much. But we're talking about old movies today, and I want to start with you, Nathaniel.
Yes.
What is your like, most influential old movie for you? What changed your life?
Airplane. That is by far my favorite movie.
Was
And
it the irony?
It was just my exact sense of humor because it was so incredibly stupid and there was so much like visual puns and so much going on in the background, and it was just this kind of dry humor where it wasn't a comedy if you have a normal sense of humor.
Like, can I ask, just based off this? Sorry, I can't do this. I'm like echoing my face. But do you feel like it was almost like was it like British humor for you, or was this kind of like?
I mean, it wasn't quite as like dry as British humor. It was like
So there's a distinction for you.
right. When I think of British humor, I think of like Monty Python, which is more, I guess, situational in a way. Because I just think of like the
Situationally
Holy Grail.
dry.
Right, where it's like just a dry conversation that turns into humor. But for Airplane, it's so much of visual gags. I think back to the one scene where there's a lady having a panic attack, and Leslie Nielsen is like, the doctor on board is like, kind of slapping her face, like, get better. And then he starts like shaking her violently. And then it pans out to like an entire row of people with like various weapons. One guy has like a wrench he's just slapping his hand with. It's that kind of stupid humor that just gets more extreme with every level of stupidity.
So kind of like the
spoke to-
scene in Anchorman where all the news teams start showing up for a back alley Gangs of New York style fight, and it's just like one more ridiculous
Right.
news team on top
and
of
it's
the
just
other.
so
and it
much
just
more
keeps
ridiculousness.
Don't forget about Espionate the Ocho.
Like, I'm perfectly serious, and don't call me Shirley. There's a reason why that's like one of the best lines, because it's just so stupid. Like, you would never think to say it, but the way every single line is delivered, like it's an actual drama. Is your first time flying, or are you nervous? Yes, first time flying, or first time. No, I've been nervous plenty of times. It's that kind of, I guess, kind of influenced my stupid humor and why I'm insufferable to be around with. The whole drinking problem gag too, where
were you a fan of John Candy as well? Or is that a
not
little
to
bit
the
more
extent that people older than me are. Obviously, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is one of my favorite movies.
Spaceballs?
Right, it's
Yeah.
that kind of similar Mel Gibson, stupid humor. I mean, Blazing Saddles is in that same category.
What about like Rodney Dangerfield?
Best one-liners in the business?
Yeah, it's
absolutely best. And
Is he
his
still
delivery-
alive? I feel like
No,
he
died a
died
while
Yeah,
ago.
has he? I thought so.
But Caddyshack obviously
Yeah.
is a classic. It's that kind of
Caddyshack, goddamn.
you have to love movies like that versus like I guess Adam Sandler movies, which is just funny because of 12-year-old vulgarity versus
Yeah.
like funny because of dumb puns or like mature humor.
It's like I feel like Rick and Morty, like Mr. Poopy Butthole or Mr. Noodle, like, oh god damn.
Right. I've never been a Rick and Morty fan. Mostly because of the fan base, really.
You gotta jump on that fucking bandwagon, man.
I feel like it's too late for a bandwagon now.
They're the next fucking South Park.
Can I
mean,
be the next South Park if they've been around for like
They're on
10
their
years?
6th season.
Yeah, but how many years have they been around? And it took like a many-year break.
2012 since I was.
Was that when it started?
yeah,
That's okay. Yeah, that's
been a
that's-
minute now.
It's 10 years. It's 10 years.
But I
doesn't feel like it's been around 10 years.
I mean, it's close though, man. It's
Yeah.
pretty close. It's pretty close. But I think we should let's go back to scoring some movies, and I want to score one of the worst movies I've ever seen, and everyone loves this movie for some reason, and I'm gonna talk shit about it.
Oh no, controversy.
Ghostbusters.
The original one.
I hated it.
What did you hate about it?
The dryness of it.
See,
That was the point.
No, it was not the point.
It kind of
It
was though.
Dave Aykroyd and all of them did not mean that at all. If you look back through all their script structures of it, they did not mean it to be dry. It was supposed to be full of wet joyness, and they robbed it for a British.
The
That's what
guy got a
Slimer was for.
blowjob by a ghost. That's not very dry humor.
Well, do you know how
When was the last
ghosts
time you
get
watched
blowjobs?
Ghostbuster?
It could be dry as shit, dude. Like it could just suck
It's a
all
ghost.
the
It's
it could suck all the ectoplasm from you.
No, it's
and
the other way
then know it.
around. Humans don't have ectoplasm.
True story.
I mean, I don't think I found a Bill Murray movie I haven't liked.
Mm-mm.
Even like his serious roles he does now that he's an old man. Like I still do love Bill Murray.
Have you guys watched Caddyshack, right?
Oh, of course.
When he's doing that, he's watching the ball scene. He's like little like just his wrist is just going like in this fucking
Motion.
motion that you should know what I'm talking about by just saying it awkwardly.
Right, because he's washing balls for an uncomfortable amount of time. You can only imagine what that's referencing.
And you start hitting those posies like golf balls. Like, oh yeah, that's 200 yards right there. Oh, that's 200 yards. Oh yeah, that's 200 yards. Oh, it's going 300 yards. You see those fucking like little posies, whatever. Like during this, it was a storm, right?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't that guy?
Yeah.
That one guy dies in Caddyshack. He's like the judge. Like, this is the best game of my entire life. And like he dies. Like he holds up his fucking like golf thing. Like,
Gets struck down.
He's struck down.
Smote?
Smitten.
Smitten? No, smitten is different. Smitten's a good thing.
Yeah.
Smitten.
Being smat.
Even before like I ever watched Caddyshack, the whole like I'm all right dance the gopher does at the end. That was a like family joke. Even when I was like too young to have any freaking clue where it was from, we would just like reference it all the time.
So you have no idea how fucking raunchy that movie was, and your
Not-
parents, your parents
right.
Like, oh no, they think it's cool with these kids. These kids are
Right,
fucking-
exactly. Because I never watched it. I just knew it was a Kenny Loggins song that the gopher was dancing to.
Well, cheers, guys.
I didn't know where it was from.
Merry Christmas. I know.
Oh, that's right. Christmas is
Or
coming
happy
up.
holidays. Sorry,
Yes.
I know we're on a holiday bender, but anyone here that listens to your own religion or whatever you want to do, we all support you guys. But happy holidays. We love you all.
Happy Toyota-thon.
And I'm gonna plug
Sign and
our
drive event.
sponsors right now because they're
Ooh.
paying for this. Hey guys, I'm gonna talk to you guys about this. We'll do a live promo.
Oh.
Have you ever want to start your own podcast?
No.
Well, I
I've
think
never
I have.
done a podcast in my life.
Play along with me, please.
Oh. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my
See-
God.
Oh my god.
It's like the really bad infomercials. The
Yeah.
guy that flips the bowl of chips over.
White people problems. I can't hold anything.
I can't start a podcast.
You guys are all welcome for the most honest commercial of all time. No, but all of us want to start our own podcast together, and we started in July, right?
Right. I
Yes.
mean, I've always kind of wanted to be a content creator. I just didn't have any of the tools to do it.
And you're really
I just
good
had
at
an
it.
idea.
You're really fucking good at it. We're all pissed how good of a fucking
Some
interview
men
you
are born great. Others are thrust upon greatness.
Mark, you and I are the ones that want to start this to begin with.
Yes.
And what happened? We're on our 35th episode.
It's a lot of
Good
episodes.
God.
If these episodes were years, our podcast could run for president.
Yeah.
There's your political analysis of the
yeah.
day.
and
You're welcome.
We'd finally accept aliens as our fucking oppressors. Anyway, back to the podcast. But thank you so much for Trips 2 Cents for sponsoring this podcast. Because if you want to start your own podcast, just come to us, trips2cents.com. Yeah, go to contact.
Is that two with a word or with a
It's two piece.
number?
I'm not a verb.
No, the two, the number.
Two. What?
Oh.
Trips 2 cents.
TWO.
There you
So
go.
TRIPPS TWOCENTS
Yes.
.com.
Yes. And you can also support us on Patreon and Discord, which I will finally figure out our next podcast.
Maybe someday we'll get Patreonized.
Patronize. That's the thing I hate about the word patronize is it's a good thing and a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's why everyone hates Americans.
Is that even? I feel like that's a very British word.
Well, yeah, because like
patronize
patriotism. Also, like if
Oh, no, we're not talking about patriotism.
well, no, I'm saying like, if you look at the definition of other fucking languages, it's actually terrorist.
Well, is that
Right?
that far off even in?
No, it's
Not
not.
really, no.
Do we not repel against our government to get our government, and then we get mad when someone repels against our government?
And then we
How does
just
that make any sense?
start buying up all the banana farms in South America.
Buffalo Soldier.
That's a completely different reference. Okay.
Like Rasta. Oy, oy, oy.
It's funny. My brain instantly went to the Great Wiener Fields of Canada, but
To the what?
that's a reference that nobody here probably will get.
What's a great wiener field of Canada?
It was a Ren and Stimpy episode where they moved to Canada to harvest wieners in fields because
That
they
should
grew.
not have been
Cartoons back in the day
Yeah.
were
Should
fucked
Should
up.
not been a children's show.
No, Ren and Stimpy was one of those.
It's Stimpy.
Also, like in Rocco's Modern Life, where Heifer.
There's gunshots everywhere.
Well, I was gonna say when Heifer uses the milking machine, but he's a
There was
boy
a
cow.
milking machine.
That's a thing that went over
The
most
udders
children's
went into
heads.
their eyes.
Well, Heifer is a male cow and used a milking machine, so that's the play there.
I have nipples too, Greg. Can you milk me?
Oh, that movie.
Okay,
I haven't
okay,
seen
meet the
that in a long
fuckers.
time.
Or-
But I mean, I think technically, yes.
Well, yes, you can.
Yeah. Yeah.
The only problem about drinking almond milk is you got to wake up every morning to milk the almonds.
The little teats, almond teats.
Yes. I love this. I love this little family garment we got going on. No, I'm just kidding. I hate both of you guys.
You do not.
Fuck you.
Good.
guys.
I'm gonna defenestrate. I'm gonna auto defenestrate.
It's okay. I hate myself too.
That's why we're all friends, because we all hate ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
We just kind of all get along that way.
Okay, so the funny thing, we've been through 2 seasons already. You guys better realize this is actually the anti-depression group.
Does it? The what?
Just kidding. No. This
I
is
hope
art.
not.
This is
I'd be in the
art.
wrong
this
place.
is Art Mart, and we're talking about movies.
Trip, what's your favorite? If you had to pick one movie you could only watch for one more time, what would it be?
What?
Waterboy.
Funny thing about Waterboy is that was one of 3 films that was filmed on my college campus in Florida. Stets University
No
represent.
way.
Yes, sir.
No way, dude. Waterboy was there.
It was filmed on our campus. So of course, as a tour guide for my school, I was always
Pointed it
you could always find the kind of frattier dads who would have liked that movie. So I would just slip in that Waterboy was filmed on our campus. It's one of our
God
4
damn it.
claim to fames.
That's like my favorite movie of all time. Oh my god.
Like that whole classroom scene was filmed in an old gymnasium that was like it was like shut down and they just didn't put anything in it, and they were like started filming stuff in it because it's surprisingly cheap to film in Central Florida.
No shit. That's probably why they chose that place
Exactly.
to begin with. Well, my favorite part was like fucking Colonel Sanders. And there was, we got him a test on Tuesday. If that's okay with you. And Bobby Boucher was like sitting there, head up and down. It's okay.
Yeah, that was all
damn.
filmed at my school.
All right. Well, we got some film cinema history major over here.
I know.
So, now as we're talking about movies, when we're asking the questions of favorites, do they all have to be comedies?
No.
Okay.
What's your favorite horror movie? Because I know that's what you want.
No, I wasn't even gonna go with horror as my
What's
favorite.
your favorite kind of?
What's your favorite movie then? Just tell us what your favorite
Yeah.
movie is.
Okay, well, for me, it's probably a tie of 3.
No,
But-
you have one.
I want to hear all 3.
But you go with number one
Okay.
first. Well, I want to make him struggle with number one though.
Number 1.
Has to be number one. Like
Okay.
you can have
All
no
right.
other seconds.
Number 1 that jumps into my head as a movie that I will always go back to watching because it hurts so good.
Oh,
Eternal
God damn it.
Sunshine
So
of the
bad.
Spotless Mind.
No, but that is also up
That
there.
movie
But that's
kills
not
me.
in my top 3. That is a great
Fuck
movie,
both
though.
you guys.
Okay, number 1.
Number 1, Requiem for a Dream.
Oh, that movie is really
That
fucked up.
movie
Oh.
fucking
That movie's
hurts.
fucked up.
Like, you cannot watch that movie if you have the slightest bit of anything going on depressive in your head or drinking, because the combination.
You can't get through the whole
No,
thing.
you just want to kill yourself by the end of that movie.
You can't get the
It's
whole
so
thing without
bad.
it.
Yeah.
You got to be a good headspace for that.
Mm-hmm. Like it.
Okay,
In a
but,
different right, it's up there with like a Serbian film, but that one just makes you feel gross.
Have you ever
That
actually
one
watched
was
it, or you just know the
disgusting.
No,
meme?
I have watched
Because
it.
I've never met anyone that's actually watched
Yeah,
it.
I
They
watched
just know
it,
because
and
haha,
disgusting.
it was a disgusting film.
I didn't
that was
even
funny
want
to talk
finish it,
about.
and that says something.
I
for me.
threw up during it.
I would hope so.
It was a horrible.
I just
movie.
know it's like the meme
that is
movie.
not in like my top
They
movies.
played it in my apartment,
Yeah.
and like
Right,
I
'cause it
walked
was,
home from work,
like,
and
the
I walked
meme
in
movie.
as they're
Yeah.
playing it, and I watched something I could never unsee.
Okay, so what's the third movie then?
No,
Third.
sec-
We've only
second,
been
no,
on-
second
No, I'm
first.
skipping second. What's third?
Okay,
Third.
okay.
God damn it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's
Because
another.
you wanted to be the one to not pick one.
Yeah, it's another Darren Aronofsky movie. The Fountain.
I've never seen The Fountain.
Oh,
I don't think who is in it?
It has
It's a little aggressive.
the guy that played Wolverine. Can't remember his name
Hugh
right now.
Jackman.
Yeah, Hugh Jackman was in it, and then a bunch of the rest of the cast that's been in all his other movies.
We apologize. It's just Denver's on
It's
fire.
ambient sounds of a city.
Denver's
ASMR.
on
Subscribe for
fire.
more.
Yeah. So, The Fountain is such a fucking good movie.
Okay.
It has to do with finding the fountain of youth, obviously.
It wasn't that obvious. I've never
Yeah.
seen it.
That was not obvious to me at all.
But it goes through all this weird, like, into Mayan lore, and then into like science, and then like transcending into like.
Was it the
this
Mayans who
astral
had
being.
the City of Gold, or was that the Aztecs?
Aztec.
It's one of them.
Obviously it's
Yeah,
one of
I
them,
just
so I was
can't remember
asking.
which.
No, Aztecs, the city of gold. The Mayans have the calendar.
Right.
Yeah, what about the Incas?
They were the postal service people, right? Like they were the ones that had like the most,
They're the ones that invented our entire postal service.
pretty much.
Yeah. But anyway, so The Fountain is a great movie. Another one that hurts by the end of it to watch. But it's also like at first it starts out and it's not what you will expect it to be by the beginning scene, because it's like
Can we
bunch
focus
of
on the film part?
I am.
Just kidding.
I'm literally talking about the film. What? It starts out like a bunch of Spanish
apologize.
conquistadors in South America looking for the Fountain of Youth.
Right.
But then it like does this interesting bridge between like 4 different timelines at the same time going on within, but it's like the same people playing these roles.
So is it supposed to be like I'm just going straight to Assassin's Creed in my mind? Is it like different incarnations of the same people?
No,
Or is it
and that's what's even weirder.
that
It's
does sound
really
weird.
hard to explain until you actually watch it.
Okay, so number 2.
Number 2.
Number 2.
I'm okay. So number 2, you pointing at me is making me nervous.
Tell us what number 2 is. Movie wise.
Okay. I would definitely go with Eternal Sunshine, like now that I'm thinking about
That movie has kind of shaped exactly how I deal with like most of my interpersonal problems,
it.
and
Just forget about it all.
block and delete and
Yeah.
remove any from a contact and enforce myself. Yeah, that was one of those movies I watched when I was like 12 years old and didn't understand it and thought, God, this movie's boring. And then I watched it again when I was like a teenager and I was like, oh my God, this is depression.
Yeah. Yeah, that movie
That
is
awoke
what
in my
depression feels
depression.
like.
All right, so you go through yours.
I don't know if I have a top 3. I mean, Airplane is still absolutely number
No,
one.
I mean,
my
like,
favorite.
just try, man. Just go through the best you can.
I mean, Eternal Sunshine might actually be up there because it's just one of those movies that
You
I
could
can
have
just
your number
always
3
watch.
not be relative to the position they're in. Just be like, hey, listen, this.
I
is
know.
my
I'm trying to
top
think of
3.
what I want, what I think my third movie would be.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be like your. Doesn't have to be like top to bottom. Just do your top 3 in general.
You know what movie was actually really good that confused the fuck out of me was The Prestige
Oh yeah.
with
Yeah.
that wasn't who the heck was that?
That
Christian
one-
Bale, Hugh Jackman.
That one was so overly simplified. It made
Not
it
Hugh
confusing.
Jackman. Russell. No, what the hell was his name? I'm
No,
blanking right now.
it was. You're right.
Was that Hugh Jackman?
It was Hugh Jackman and who else?
It was Christian Bale.
Benedict Cumberbatch, right?
No. I'm gonna look this up because I don't. And I remember David Bowie was in it. He played
Oh,
Tesla.
it's my mom. That's right, 100%.
I would like to
My
say an
mom was in
honorable
it.
mention in my list while you're looking that up is Interstellar.
I've never seen Interstellar yet.
All right,
That
well, I'm
movie
gonna
is
choose
so
my,
good.
my top 3 right now.
1 second, I have it pulled up. It was Hugh Jackman, Christian Bale, Michael Caine. So I was Hugh Jackman. Okay. For some reason, I was thinking it was someone else.
You know what the difference between Hugh Jackman and a Hugh Jackman is, right?
Between a huge jacked man and a Hugh Jackman.
No, a huge yak man.
He's a man that's really into yaks.
Yes. And the other.
Yak!
Probably peaked on
Yeah,
that.
So
Sorry,
Trip,
please.
what? So we Waterboy. Well, you said 2 earlier, didn't you?
No, I said Waterboy. That's my number 1. Like, I will never not love that movie. What an oppressive young man. Dude, number 2.
He's gonna say Joe Dirt somewhere. I feel like.
Not that redneck, man. God, fuck off. Number
You're
2.
my sister.
Number
You're
2,
my
there
sister.
was number 2. There's a movie from. It was really fucking old, like back in like the 40s, 50s. That was Robert Frost's A Path Not Followed, which I studied.
I've never heard of that. A Path Not Followed.
It was this.
I guess you didn't follow it very well.
Don't give him shit for that. No, like it was like, literally. It was literally about like you know, like someone taking the path that no one's like goes through. And it was a poetry by Robert Frost back in the day, but back in the 60s, like someone did a fucking like kind of like a still film shit off of it, based off that. And that's one of my favorite films because like it's a quote for my fucking life. Like I played pro football in a weird league. Like I played in bands in DC. Like I got a weird life. Like I took the path that no one else takes. That's what hits me so hard. And then my third fucking favorite film ever.
Joe Dirt.
No, no,
I'm trying.
no.
I'm just.
No, it's Dodgeball.
Okay. Well, I mean,
Oh, I know
Yeah.
that, but I've never seen it.
you can dodge a
never seen
wrench.
that.
You can dodge a ball. The 4 Ds of dodgeball.
You can dodge,
Dodge, duck,
responsibilities,
dive,
but you
and
can dodge.
dodge.
The ball.
Dodgeball was made illegal in New York, so we couldn't play it in high school.
Yeah,
You
no,
made me bleed
it wasn't
my
us
own
too
blood.
because I got fucking knocked the fuck out when I was a kid, like crazy.
That explains so much.
I was gonna hit by 2 cars. So we're here now talking about this shit. And what I love is our
So-
honesty with this fucking.
So
team.
real quick, next time, you need to be wearing a sweater when you get by a car,
hit your car,
preferably
I never
a
hit your car.
cardigan.
Card
Jesus
again.
Okay,
A
you know what?
Card again.
You know what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna tag every word you have in the podcast as being an asshole.
Hashtag asshole.
Hash.
Are we still recording?
asshole?
I think yeah, we're recording.
Okay.
Of course, we're still recording.
Okay, I just want to be sure you didn't pause it.
No, do you want me to? This
No.
Enough of you being a bitch.
Psh. No. No such
What's
thing.
the worst movie you've ever seen?
Pan's Labyrinth.
Really? Really?
Really?
Oh, that is.
Because Guillermo del Toro is a great director.
I'm not even gonna
Good for
get
him.
pretentious. Why was it the worst movie you've ever seen? And you came to it so quick, like you had that as an answer.
Yeah, because
Is it because you had to read it in French?
No, not at all. It's because I saw an American, and all of it was not plot directive. When I emotionally when I fall in love with a plot, I need a character to be developed right away. A character has to be developed right away, or I'm not going to follow along with it at all. There's a bottom line with the story, and I grew up with storytelling my entire life.
Right.
And I need something that's going to drive me to the character. Like, what's going to fucking, like, make me love the character? It's like, why I love fucking Star Wars so much. It's very easy to love Luke.
Wait, why do you fuck Star
Skywalker.
Wars?
Just shut up. I love you. But 1 second. But it's very easy to love Luke Skywalker, right?
Yeah.
He's a fucking orphan boy that, like, has something going on with him.
Right. It's a masterclass in likability.
Easy. Done. Easy. I need to fall in love with what you're saying.
I said, why do you fuck Star Wars? You said you love fucking Star Wars.
Yeah, because I love the fucking plots to it. Because it makes it very simple to follow.
Do you try and
So are there any
explode
other
into
movies
Death
that
Star?
you that are like this that are kind of, because I mean Pan's Labyrinth is a cult classic. It's a lot of people's favorite movie.
Yeah, but my problem is like with that is like they don't have any character derivative shit It doesn't take any time to develop the character whatsoever. Like
It's been a while since I've seen it, but I don't think there was much like development.
No, there's not at all. This person falls into Pan's Labyrinth. That's it. That's the fucking plot. It falls into Pan's Labyrinth. That's the whole thing. But like, if you would have developed the character, it's like, well, like, there's a curious person who like loves doing this other stuff. Like, I love digging holes. Love doing this. That would have given me some character.
It's very
development.
subtle. Like there's a lot of character building, but it's something you can't like watch once. It's something you have to keep watching and like do a study on it. So that's why I think it's such a cult classic, because people like to be pretentious about what they like.
Yeah, I would never take that away from anybody else that is a cult classic. But
So-
what I'm saying from a logical standpoint is it doesn't make any fucking sense.
And I totally see that. I've seen
Just
it.
saying.
Yeah, that was one of the movies that the first time I saw it, it didn't make sense. And then I saw it like 2 or 3 more times, and I like really started to like it.
So my least favorite movie will probably piss off a lot of the weebs out there.
Am I a weeb?
I don't know. Are you?
Say it.
Do you like anime?
There's a big difference between liking anime and being a weeaboo.
I love.
Not really.
I love.
Most ones nowadays are.
Hey, listen. I love Gundam since I was fucking 8 years old.
All right, I'm about to piss you off then.
Okay, what movie is it?
All right, fuck
The
me.
Netflix adaptation of Death Note.
Oh, that's probably not
so
gonna.
fucking bad.
That's not gonna piss anyone off. No one liked that.
I don't know what they're talking
That's the
about.
most agreeable opinion
Yeah.
anyone's ever had. I thought you were gonna say something controversial,
No.
like Studio Ghibli sucks.
Well,
no, you're
I
like
do agree with
a
that,
movie
but-
that no one likes isn't good. Like, okay, that's actually really makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I thought that was one of the worst ones because
Yeah, no one liked that one
it felt empty. Like
because it's a
every-
Netflix ripoff.
well,
It's a
because
cash grab.
everything was there that should have been there to make it good, but it felt like it was missing like the spice to make it
No, that's
a
Dune.
good movie. No, there's lots
The
of spice
spice?
in Dune.
It's the spice.
He who controls the spice controls
I've
the
never actually
universe.
seen Dune, nor read any of the books, nor watched anything more than like half of a trailer.
Don't.
I
Or
won't.
do.
It's all stupid, to be
It
honest.
is not. You're just
honestly-
saying that because you're a Star Wars fan.
No, I'm saying because I'm a logical person.
The Dune ripoff Star
Frank-
Wars.
Look
Frank
at the
Herbert's
guy in the
Dune
picture. Look at the guy in the
is
picture next to
such
you.
a
Look at the guy in the
good book.
picture. He landed a kickflip very well. He's obviously got something smart in his system.
No. Dune. Okay, I will say like the new Dune was actually okay. I don't want to say good because it still felt lacking, but it was far better than David Lynch's Dune.
It
And
was.
Yeah, it was far better. But even David Lynch himself hated his own variation of Dune.
Because
Like,
he was limited what he could do.
yeah, because they wouldn't let him do what he wanted to do to
they're
do
limited
it.
with his fucking like his extra. What doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But anyway,
But the books are phenomenal.
the
so
whole
don't knock
point
the
of this
books.
goddamn podcast is to be influential. Try to help everyone out there who's going through any hard time get to be an artist. So we have a little tips today, and as we wrap this podcast up, because we're getting to our wrapping point.
Well, we need to ask Nathaniel one serious question though.
No, as long as it's helping someone out.
What was
we'll
your
talk
least
about it.
favorite movie?
I've been actually racking my brain for the past like 5 minutes. I don't have a single movie that comes to mind that I'm thinking, oh, I hated it.
Well, guys,
Wait, no. Surprisingly enough, I actually just remembered how much I disliked it. I forgot about its existence entirely.
That's usually what makes it a bad movie.
The Joker. I couldn't
Yeah.
even watch that on a flight. It was that boring. I watched
new
The
one- the new
Irishman.
one?
Yeah, with
Hakeem Phoenix.
yes. I couldn't. I was on a flight with literally nothing else to do.
I would
and
agree,
I turned it off.
but I'm also not a Batman
Can I be
fan
honest,
at
I
all.
was very disappointed in that film.
I'm
I was
Okay.
very, very disappointed in the entirety.
It was
the
just-
entirety of the film.
there was
Also-
nothing about it that was
came off
grabbing.
Very psycho.
Also,
insane.
there was one giant plot hole in the entire movie that everyone fails to realize that him in his 40s in the movie is what he was supposed to be,
I watched like
mid
a quarter
40s.
of it.
Yeah, I think he was supposed to be mid 40s, right? He meets fucking Bruce Wayne as a child. So that's saying that by the time Bruce Wayne is old enough to be fighting crime, the Joker's in his like 80s.
So anyone actually
It makes no
realize-
fucking sense.
If you don't read the comics, technically, him and Bruce Wayne are brothers.
Was that the main like bombshell that was dropped like relatively recently? remember
If you
seeing
read
that.
the comics, it's always been what it has been.
You know what it reminded me of, but a worse version was Taxi Driver.
Yeah.
It was like a worse version of Taxi Driver.
Taxi
It
Driver was a good movie.
The Bruce Wayne's dad cheated on his mother, and that's where the
Arthur
Joker,
Fleck? Was that his name?
Arthur Fleck, whatever. It depends on what generation or dimension you're going through, but yeah, they are technically brothers, and the fact that they didn't actually like point that at all for me, like I'm a comic book fan. If they didn't put that together, I hate that. Like, you know what? Like, you're just making up your own fucking reality.
I just didn't think the movie was that enthralling.
Yeah,
So I
well,
guess that was
it
the least
sucked,
favorite
dude.
movie.
It made me sad.
It reminded me that it was trying to be on the level of like Darren Aronofsky on
Yes,
emotional, but
yes, yes.
failing miserably at it because it was trying to be something so hard that it failed.
I mean, I didn't see it like when the hype was real. I saw it like probably about 2 years ago, and it came out like 3-4 years ago. So maybe but yeah, that was the one movie I don't think I was able to finish.
Hey guys, we're gonna give some fucking props to our new followers right now from the UK.
Them
I
lying
guess I will.
There's some props from the UK and Australia. Our first
Shout out to Steve Irwin. Rest in peace,
no,
Steve
wait, whoa,
Irwin.
no, rest in peace.
Rest in peace,
that
Steve
bugger.
Irwin. I was literally going to the Bronx Zoo the day I heard that Steve Irwin died.
Well, he should have just wore sunscreen that day.
No, fuck off.
It protects
He's
from
a
harmful
national,
rays.
He's a national treasure even for America, like, and he's from Australia.
He's a
do you
world
know what they
treasure.
call? Do you know what they call sweaters in Australia?
Jumpers.
Sleeve Irwins.
Do you know where-
I was just trying to get props for a guy who died.
Do you know where
shit out
Napoleon kept his armies?
In his pocket.
In his sleeveys.
That's so bad. Why is that actually funnier?
Turn this shit back on.
Because it's so stupid. It's armies in his sleeveys.
All right, well, listen. Hey, guys, we're this is going to be Christmas here in a second. I don't know if we're going to be here or not, to be honest, just depending on us. Just want to give you guys some straight up honesty.
Honesty.
But we're I hope we're going to be here because I'm going to cook everyone here breakfast-ish,
I like
lunchy
breakfast.
things,
Mm-hmm.
all this stuff. But guys, you guys most of you has been with us since July of this fucking year. And we're about to go to 2022, and we just want to thank you guys so goddamn much for following our stupid bullshit for this long. Thank you guys, right?
Yes.
I still can't imagine people like choosing to listen to me talk. I don't
Same.
even listen to me talk.
Mm-mm.
Well, thank you guys so much because we love you. And we just love the fact that you guys are fucking here for us. In like at least fucking 15 countries. We love it. So as is tradition, we love you. Goodbye and peace.
Peace.
Peace.